The greatness of human thought lies not only in what can be expressed through words, but also in what can be deeply understood and internalized. Baruch Spinoza did not describe a distant, wrathful, or unreachable God. Instead, he introduced a radically different idea, one that, if fully grasped, has the power to transform our entire perception of the universe, nature, and existence. But who was Spinoza, and what exactly did he mean when he spoke of God? His philosophy, revolutionary in his time, remains just as powerful today, still challenging us to see reality through new eyes. This exploration will dive into the core of Spinoza's vision in a way that is both simple and profound, allowing you to understand what's at stake, how it can reshape your life, and how Spinoza's eyes might come to recognize divinity in all things. It is astonishing to think that one of the greatest philosophers in history could propose something so simple, yet so profound. Spinoza didn't aim to establish a new religion or demand worship for a divine being. Instead, he urged us to abandon the traditional view of God as an external force, detached from the world, and instead to embrace a vision of God as immanent present in all things. For Spinoza, God is not beyond the world, but is the world. God is the substance of the universe itself, the very force that animates all existence. Imagine a vast ocean. No matter where you look, the water remains the same. Waves may rise, crash, and dissolve, but they are all part of the same sea. Spinoza's God is like this ocean. Every tree, every star, every creature is a unique expression of this singular divine substance. There is nothing outside of God or beyond him, because he is everything. This idea challenges the dualistic view that separates the creator from creation. For Spinoza, God did not create the universe and then step back. He is the universe. He is not a figure in a faraway heaven, but the very breath and movement of life itself. In his book Ethics, Spinoza, it even goes further by stating that God is the cause of himself, eternal, unchanging, and self-sustaining. To understand this is to understand that we are not separate from God. We are part of this same divine totality. If God is the one infinite substance, then we, too, are expressions of that substance, waves on the same ocean. Our essence is not apart from the divine but made of it. Spinoza calls us to recognize the sacredness that surrounds us. He urges us to look at the stars, the rivers, the trees not as mere objects, but as direct expressions of the divine. There is no need to seek God outside ourselves, because God is already here, in every breath we take, in every thought we form. This God does not demand worship in the traditional sense. What is required is not ceremony, but deep recognition of the interconnectedness of all life. True spirituality, according to Spinoza, does not reside in rituals, but in awareness in, aligning with the universal order, and realizing that everything is divine. When we fully accept that God is in everything, then everything becomes sacred. The line between the human and the divine vanishes, as does the separation between the spiritual and the material. Every moment becomes an encounter with the divine. By observing nature, by contemplating life, we are connecting with God. Is Spinoza's invitation to awaken to the divine that permeates all things? There is no need for altars or temples, for God already dwells within and around us. What is needed is a shift in perception, a realization that we are not distant from divinity, but immersed in it. To fully understand Spinoza's idea of God, one must grasp the concept of substance, a single, indivisible foundation of all that exists. This notion can be difficult because we are accustomed to seeing the world as made up of separate things. But Spinoza teaches that there is only one substance, and everything else is simply a mode or expression of it. This substance, God, or nature, as he calls it, it's self-existing and independent. All things, from stones to thoughts, are forms of this one essence. It is not that the world was created by God. The world is God, and God is the world. Consider a river. The water flows continuously, forming waves, eddies, and stillness. Each part of the river is different, yet made of the same water. This is how Spinoza sees reality. All forms are temporary expressions of the same eternal substance. There is no world outside this substance, there is no beyond. Spinoza rejected the idea of multiple substances or dualistic realities. There is no separation between body and soul, matter and spirit, human and divine. These distinctions, he argued, are mental constructs. In truth, everything is one. This is the essence of Spinoza's monism, the belief in a single, unified reality. And this reality, this substance, is not a concept to be understood only by scholars or mystics. It is immediate, present in everything we see and feel. Though the divine substance has infinite attributes, humans can understand only two: extension and thought. Extension refers to the physical world, the tangible, visible realm. Thought refers to the mental world, ideas, emotions, and consciousness. Though these seem like separate domains, they are actually two aspects of the same underlying reality. A rock and an idea may seem unrelated, but for Spinoza, both are expressions of the same divine essence. The physical and the mental are not different substances, but two ways of perceiving the one substance. This view has led many to describe Spinoza's theology as pantheism, the belief that God is in everything and everything is God. However, Spinoza's idea goes deeper. Not only is God in everything, but everything is God. Nature itself is the divine, and there is no creator distinct from creation. To look upon the world is to look upon the divine. This leads to one of Spinoza's most radical ideas, his view of determinism and freedom. Many believe that freedom means the ability to choose without constraint, but for Spinoza, this is an illusion. Everything in the universe, including human thoughts and desires, is determined by a chain of causes. Nothing happens by chance. If this is true, then what does it mean to be free? Spinoza offers a surprising answer. True freedom is not about escaping this determinism, but about understanding it. We are free when we act according to the necessity of our nature, not when we imagine ourselves to be independent of it. When we understand the causes behind our emotions and actions, we gain power over them. Reason becomes our guide. Through reason, we come to live in harmony with the laws of nature, rather than being driven by irrational desires. Freedom, then, is about self-awareness. The more we understand the causes that shape us, the more we act with clarity and purpose. The less we understand, the more we are ruled by passions, impulses, and illusions. Most people, Spinoza believed, live in a kind of slavery controlled by emotions they do not understand. They feel free, but they are not. True freedom is wisdom. It is the ability to live in alignment with reality, to know who we are, why we act, and how we are connected to the whole. Spinoza's vision of freedom is not one of rebellion against fate, but of conscious participation in the unfolding of the universe. It is the freedom to be oneself, not in opposition to necessity, but in harmony with it. When we understand that we are not separate from the world but part of its eternal flow, we can live authentically. We are not at the mercy of a distant God, nor are we puppets of fate. We are expressions of the divine substance, thinking, acting, and existing within a totality that is both infinite and sacred. Now, take a moment to reflect on what these ideas mean to you. In what areas of your life can you begin to live more consciously, more aligned with the natural order? Share your thoughts with others. Discuss these ideas, pass them on, and allow them to deepen your understanding of existence. And if you haven't yet, join us in this ongoing journey into philosophy and meaning. By learning from the wisdom Spinoza offers, we open ourselves to a life of deeper connection, clarity, and purpose. Thank you for being a part of this exploration.